Hello again team, it's Jess or JashiiCorrin and welcome back for another Plan With Me video. Today I'm setting up a 30 before 30 spread, or more specifically, 30 things that I want to achieve before I turn 30. Not before 2030, that's quite a while away. As you may have seen on my channel over the past week and a bit, whether that be from my last Plan With Me video or from my post on the community tab, on Sunday the 11th I celebrated my 29th birthday. So I figured to make the most of my last year in my 20s, I'd make a list dedicated to the things that I wanted to achieve before I'm 30. I know that some people get kind of sad about the idea of getting older, but I kind of think it's a bit exciting. Although in my day-to-day life I really don't feel that much older compared to the start of my 20s, when I think about some of the choices that I made back then, yeah, I've grown up a little bit. In terms of picking 30 things that I want to achieve before this time next year though, that's quite difficult. I think that's probably because most often I have it in my head that these need to be big ticket items, but really they could just be more simple things that I've just been meaning to do for a while and haven't gotten around to. At this stage I only actually have 15 things on my list, so I am still on the lookout for more things to put on here. As you can see, the spread is separated into two halves, so on the right hand side I have a space for the checklist of the things I want to do, whereas on the left I'm going to have a more decorative page that has 30 boxes that I can fill in as I complete my tasks. In terms of figuring out the sizes for all of those boxes, as you'll end up seeing they are all different, this was really just done using a guess and check method. I ended up working from the top and bottom of the page in towards the middle, making it so that the top and bottom were kind of mirror images of each other. So the box that I drew in the top left corner is the same size as the box I drew in the bottom right corner. I found this was just helpful to make the page look balanced and also make it a little bit easier to determine how I was going to section up the space to get 30 boxes. I'm not too sure at this stage how I'm going to fill those in. I was thinking maybe a doodle that relates to the task I'd done, or possibly a picture as evidence of some kind. Not too sure at this stage, but I'll figure it out eventually. For timing, from first touch of the pen to final erasings, this one took about 24 minutes. As always though, this doesn't include the penciling in, so probably a bit closer to 30. In terms of the questions that were left on last week's Plan With Me, our first one comes from Jennifer, who said, "Love your profile picture. Is red your natural colour? If not, how did you choose red?" So I'm not naturally a redhead. My natural hair colour is more like my eyebrow colour if you've seen my vlogs. So kind of like a dusty brown. I've been dyeing my hair for many years now because I don't really like my natural hair colour all that much. Previously I've been really into bright colours, so bright pink, blue, I had green. I've of course done blonde, black, different shades of brown. At my current workplace, it's not necessarily against the rules to have brightly coloured hair, but I figured that going with red was the easiest way to still look relatively professional, but also get the brightness in hair colour that I wanted. At the moment I'm trying not to dye my hair anymore though, because I do have an appointment booked in to get my hair done at a salon, and my lovely hairdresser told me that when I decided to do that I should stop doing my own at-home dye jobs. Which is unfortunate because I've got a lot of boxes of hair dye that I'm probably not going to use now. Our next question came from Kathleen, who asked, "Have you ever done an art journal or memory journal? In other words, have you kept another bullet journal separate from this one?" So yes, I certainly have. Previously I've done a video on all of the different bullet journals I did have, so at that stage I had one for my regular everyday day-to-day journaling. I had a long-term collections bullet journal, a travel journal, and a journal for learning Japanese. Since then those last two have fallen off, but I do still have my long-term collections one and my current one. In terms of an art journal, I do have an art book, but I don't really use it very often. And in terms of a memory journal, that was kind of what my travel journal was intended for. But I found that when I was away traveling, I didn't really feel like getting into it, because at the point during my travels when I'd have time to, I was kind of knackered. And then when I got back, I just didn't really feel inclined or have the time. That's why in my day-to-day bullet journal, I do pages every so often, like 1 line a day, or gratitude logs, memory logs, that kind of stuff. Our next question came from Anita, who asked, "How into Halloween are you? because some of the American YouTubers I watch are seriously dedicated to it, and I find that slightly strange. I think that Halloween is certainly a much bigger thing in the US than it is here. I've never really been one to celebrate Halloween, at least not when I was younger. Now I kind of just use Halloween as an excuse to either go and have some drinks with my friends or watch scary movies or something like that. I like the idea of the spooky season, but I know there are certainly people who are way more into the spook than I am. I think honestly I'm probably more of a fan of Christmas than I am of Halloween, but more than that I'm probably more of a fan of New Year's. I like the kind of fresh feeling that a new year gives me. And that's always the time I do things like goal setting and getting my new planner set up, and so that's very much more of a my kind of holiday. As always, thank you to all of our inquirers from last week. If you guys have any questions you want answered in next week's plan with me, please do leave them in the comments below. And here we have what that one looks like now. So you can see I've started filling in some of the things for my 30 before 30 list. But I still have a little bit of space. I haven't quite figured out all of the things that I want to put on here yet. The general idea is that when I complete one of these tasks, I'll fill in the box associated with that, and then I'll also put like maybe a doodle or possibly print out a little picture and put it in one of the boxes over here as well. Haven't decided which option I'm going to go with there. I guess I'll figure it out when I get around to completing my first one of these. I know that age is just a number, but I do like setting things like this as kind of a milestone for what I want to do before a date. I won't be overly sad if some of these don't happen within the next year, but it would be nice to see how many of them I can get done. What I'd be curious to know though, for you guys and your next upcoming birthday milestone, what are some of the things that you want to achieve or see happen before then? As always team, thank you for watching. If you liked today's video, please do make sure to give it a big thumbs up. And if you wanted to see more from me, feel free to go check out one of my other videos. Until next time, bye!